Right then, folks, how we doing? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all well. And listen, I know it's been a pretty quiet spell when it comes to Celtic news lately, but that doesn't mean there's nothing to talk about. Sometimes, the calm before the storm can be just as telling, and judging by the little rumblings we're picking up, things might be about to take off. So grab a cup or whatever you fancy, because we're going to get into a fair few things today. And I know I always say I'll keep it short, but let's be honest, I probably won't. There's too much to dive into. Now, first up, the big story that's bubbling away is about Greg Taylor. It's looking more and more like his time in the hoops could be coming to an end. For a while now, there's been that sense that he might be edging towards the exit, but the signs have really started to stack up. No new contract signed, his body language after the Scottish Cup final, and now stories coming out of Greece suggesting there's already an offer on the table. That's right. Reports from Greece say that PAOK have made an official approach to try and bring the Scottish left back over to the Super League. Now, let's take a second here. We're talking about one of the biggest clubs in Greece, based in Thessaloniki, constant appearances in Europe, regularly in the Champions League, or at least the Europa. And they've apparently tabled a 2-year deal for Taylor with the option to extend for a third. What's more, the wages they're offering are said to be considerably better than what he's currently earning at Celtic. That's not something you ignore, especially at 27, which for a footballer is that crucial moment where you start thinking a bit more long term. You're not at the start of your career anymore, but you've still got a few good years left in the tank. And that's when players start thinking about security, family, and of course, where they can get the most value before retirement. Taylor, by all accounts, is currently over in Dubai with his family, and PAOK are waiting for his answer. The fact he hasn't shut down these rumors or immediately denied the story tells you something. He might very well be weighing up this move seriously, and who can blame him? It's a short-term deal, but potentially a lucrative one, in a beautiful part of the world playing European football. It ticks a lot of boxes. And let's be honest, if you're offered more money, regular starts, and a new challenge at this stage of your career, you'd be daft not to at least consider it. Now, there was talk a while back that Dinamo Zagreb were favorites to land Taylor. That was floating about not too long ago, but then they went and sacked Fabio Cannavaro. And ever since then, that interest seems to have fizzled out completely. No real noise coming from Croatia anymore. So if that's off the table and PAOK are now leading the race, you have to think this move is real. There's still the tiniest of chances, and I mean absolutely minuscule, that he signs a new deal and stays at Celtic, but I wouldn't bet my boots on it. If this Greek offer is as strong as reported, then I'd imagine Taylor's mind might already be made up. And to be fair to him, he's had a good run at Celtic, came in from Kilmarnock, never complained, worked his socks off, and even though he had his critics, he always gave 100%. But football moves fast. And if the club's already eyeing up replacements, which we'll get to in a second, then that just about sells it, doesn't it? Speaking of replacements, Celtic have been linked to a few left backs over the last week or so, and that only adds fuel to the fire. One name that keeps popping up is Harrison Ashby, though that seems more like a long-term squad addition. The more serious name is young lad from down south, possibly Harley Mills, who's been making waves. That type of interest doesn't happen unless there's already an opening being prepared. Clubs don't go chasing fullbacks just for fun. It's pretty obvious the recruitment team is planning for life after Taylor. And listen, I'm not gonna lie, the idea of Greg Taylor heading off to Athens and playing under the sun every weekend sounds absolutely class. You can imagine it now. Well, a couple of years in the Mediterranean, big stadiums, European nights. No wonder he's tempted. I'll be honest, I'm a bit jealous. Best of luck to him if it happens. He deserves it. But make no mistake, that would leave a decent-sized hole in the Celtic squad. He might not be world-class, but he's been a dependable servant. Replacing that consistency isn't easy. Whoever comes in will need to hit the ground running. Now, while all that's going on, the name Kieran Tierney keeps cropping up. And we've all seen the rumors. It feels almost written in the stars at this point. The return of Tierney to Celtic Park. The boy who left us for Arsenal all those years ago could be making his comeback, and I don't think there's a single supporter who wouldn't welcome him back with open arms. Word is he's already back up the road, been spotted about town, and even his barbers apparently confirmed it. So it's not just wild speculation. There's been no official announcement from the club yet. That'll probably come in early July, but by the sounds of it, everything's in place. Arsenal have already said their goodbyes. They posted a "We Farewell" video and thanked him for his time in North London. Now, let's be honest, his time down south didn't exactly go to plan. Injuries got in the way. He had strong spells, no doubt, and Arsenal fans clearly have a lot of love for him. But I think we've struck gold here, because if he had stayed fit and been playing regularly, there's no way he'd be returning to Celtic right now. We're benefiting from his misfortune, in a way. And I hate to say it like that, but it's true. What Tierney brings to the table, leadership, passion, that connection with the fans, you can't buy that. He's not just a good left back. He's Celtic through and through. We know what we're getting. And you better believe he'll be walking back into that dressing room like he never left. He's exactly the sort of player we need right now. The timing couldn't be better. And look, if Taylor's leaving and Tierney's coming in, well, that's not just a replacement. That's an upgrade. A massive one. Tierney's got European experience, played at the highest level, and he's still got plenty left to give. This is the kind of signing that sets the tone for the summer. It tells you the club means business. But let's shift the focus now to a slightly different story that broke over the past couple of hours. And this one's got the rumor mill spinning again. A name that's come up a few times now is Yufa, Elcabi, a striker who had a phenomenal season in Holland with Telstar. 25 goals in 45 matches. Proper numbers. Now here's the interesting bit. He was reportedly set to sign for Hanover in the German second tier. Deal looked done, all set to go. And then out of nowhere, he pulls the plug. Rejected the move at the last minute. That doesn't happen for no reason. Something changed. And according to reports, Elcabi turned down Hanover because he wants to join a club playing European football. Now, here's where things get spicy. As of now, there aren't many clubs of that stature linked with him, apart from Celtic. That's not me saying we're definitely in for him, but it's very curious timing. He knocks back a solid deal in Germany, and the only club we know that fits his criteria, playing in Europe, big stature, is us. It's all a bit too convenient, isn't it? You have to wonder if there's something going on behind the scenes. Maybe we've made contact. Maybe there's a tentative offer. Or maybe he's holding out in hope that Celtic come calling. Whatever it is one to keep an eye on. He's not my number one pick for our next striker, but I've watched some clips and he looks sharp. Great movement, clever finishing. And he's got that killer instinct in the box. Still raw in some areas, but there's real potential there. If the price is right, it could be a gamble worth taking, but we'll wait and see what happens. Not every rumor turns into a signing, but this one's got a bit of weight behind it. And before we wrap up this half of the video, just a quick note on a couple of current players who've been speaking out in interviews this week. First up, Idah. A bit of a mixed debut season for him, let's be honest. Came in with decent expectations, started off slow, but gradually found some rhythm, especially in the final stretch of the campaign. Ended up with 20 goals, which is no small feat considering he started the year as a backup. He's been criticized a lot, sometimes fairly, sometimes not. But I like what I heard from him in his interview. He's acknowledged the pressure. He knows there are fans and pundits who doubt him, but he's not backing down, said he's focused on improving, blocking out the noise, and doing his talking on the pitch. That's the right attitude. The price tag might weigh heavy, but he's not the one who said it. All he can do is keep working. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. There's a player in there. Maybe not the finished article, but if he stays on this upward curve, he can be a key part of the squad going forward. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the Scottish footballing community, the rumour mill is in full spin with reports that Rangers midfield star Nicholas Raskin is on the verge of a sensational switch to arch-rival Celtic. You heard that right? Raskin, a key figure in the heart of the light blues midfield, could be about taking the green and white hoops. A transfer twist that Naya Soul in Glasgow saw coming, whispers of the Belgian playmaker's potential defection. Surfaced earlier this week when insiders close to the Parkhead club let slip that talks had been quietly underway. The news, still unconfirmed by either club, has left supporters on both sides, the old firm divide in utter disbelief. Some reckon it's a ploy to unsettle the Rangers dressing room ahead of the new season, while others are convinced there's real substance to the chatter. Raskin, who arrived at Ibrox in 2023 and quickly established himself as a fan favorite with his tenacious style and vision on the park, has reportedly been growing disillusioned with his role under the current management. Speculation suggests that Celtic's promise of regular European football, coupled with an attractive financial package, might just be enough to tempt the 23-year-old across the city. If the deal comes to pass, it would rank among the most controversial transfers in recent Scottish football history, rivaled only by a handful of players who've dared to cross the divide before. Pundits and former players have been quick to weigh in, with some labeling the potential move as career suicide, while others hail it as a bold statement from the boys as they look to strengthen their squad. As it stands, neither Celtic nor Rangers have issued any official comment, but the atmosphere in Glasgow is already electric with anticipation. Social media has been ablaze with heated debates, memes, and even supposed sightings of Raskin near Celtic Park. Only time will tell if this jaw-dropping rumor solidifies into reality. But one thing's certain, the possibility of Raskin swapping blue for green has gripped the nation, and the next few days could redefine the landscape of Scottish football as we know. Hello, fan! Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.